So you just saw Devilman Crybaby. What about it appeals to you? Oh, I just loved the themes that were being explored. So sophisticated, so intellectual. Expand on that. Friendship and love are key to this, and provide a complex battle against cynicism. And anything else? Well, it's so culturally relevant to our society. How we use social media, how we react to news, how we judge people. And how do we judge people in this anime? Well, yeah, I'll be honest, this has one of the top 10 anime titty bounces of all time. You should have seen this one girl, her boobs were the size of a torpedo. Yeah, that's what I thought. Better than most hentai. Devilman Crybaby. When I was searching what anime to watch next, this title intrigued me. I was thinking, what does that mean? A devilman that cries like a baby? No, it can't be that simple.
And you were a crybaby.
Never mind. Now, if you're like me, you think, why is this anime so popular? What about it makes it so great and unique? So here are a few reasons why Devilman Crybaby has garnered significant popularity and acclaim. It has a unique art style and animation, directed by Masaki Yuasa, known for his distinctive and experimental animation style. Devilman Crybaby features fluid, dynamic, and visually striking animation. The bold and unconventional art direction stands out compared to many other anime, drawing viewers into its unique aesthetic. Now this is something I agree on. The animation is a character on its own. There is something striking about it. It's chaotic in the best way. The color scheme goes all over the place. It's quite gross and outlandish. The way the demons transform is very disturbing but also quite fascinating. The camera movement evokes a sense of dread and horror that makes you feel terrified but excited at the same time. It's a show that combines beauty and disgust. You can see that on how they portray certain humans and certain demons. I mean, this is the type of animation that really sticks with you, because it isn't afraid to experiment. It goes against all the tropes and cliches, channeling different styles of animation. It's bold, it's radical, and never loses an ounce of creativity. The series delves into often disturbing themes about identity, humanity, morality, and the nature of good and evil. It doesn't shy away from graphic violence, sexual content, and emotional intensity, supposedly making it a thought-provoking and mature viewing experience. The series draws from Christian themes and mythology, particularly the concepts of demons and angels, heaven and hell, and the final apocalyptic battle between good and evil. But this is where I have a huge problem with the anime. Yes, it is covering all of these mature themes, but it never feels thought-provoking. I don't feel like I've gained something of any moral value after watching these 10 episodes. Akira and Ryo provide this opposing duality of light and dark, and this would be a great back and forth dialogue of contrasting ideals. But this isn't the primary focus of the story. There's too much conflict being crammed with these devils who have a past with Amon. The high school students are characters who have a lot of emotion to convey throughout the show, but again, this doesn't feel as intimate and real as it could be. And what I mean by that is that you have these characters who are teenagers, all going through a mix of emotions from jealousy, envy, anxiety, and love. And you're only presenting this through absurd scenes of sex. It's not intimate and often feels distant. I mean, what do we really know about Akira as a character? He cries, he cares for animals. I need more than that. It doesn't go deeper into his thoughts and feelings. And then we don't get the chance because the focus shifts to the demons against God's narrative. And regarding the graphic nature of its sexual themes, why do they need to show this to such a full extent? Especially when you're experimenting with various animation techniques. When they transform from nude humans with their body parts expanding and forming into demons, that's the type of Cronenberg stuff I want to see. But when you're just showing close-up sex scenes just because you can, it becomes commonplace. The sex no longer feels imaginative and comes off as degenerate. It's just moaning, thrusting, bouncing tits and rave music in every episode. It all gets overwhelming to the point of stupidity. You just start laughing and thinking, what point are the creators of this show trying to make? The theme of good and evil is universal in many stories and will always be timeless. Here you have Ryo, a guy who was clearly bad news from the start, but they try to add depth to his character towards the last couple of episodes, making him appear more vulnerable and carrying more humanistic traits of compassion, in particular towards Akira during the finale. I feel as though they left this all too late because we spent 8 episodes prior just making him look like a run-of-the-mill villain with no development or traits except that he's blonde, pale and dresses like a runway model. So I guess that makes him the bad guy. He was pretty annoying throughout the anime and it was really frustrating that Akira couldn't see how obvious of a bad guy he was, since he was too busy crying in every episode because apparently that's his character, he cries. Wow. What a complex human being. And this leads to my problem with where the emotional weight was stirring from. So Devilman Crybaby is renowned for its intense emotional resonance. The story of Akira Fudo, who transforms into Devilman to battle demons while retaining his human heart, is filled with tragic and poignant moments. The character development and relationships evoke strong emotional responses from the audience. Where I felt a strong connection to the characters wasn't with Akira. I know, how is that even possible? He's an emotional guy and cares about everyone. But strangely, it wasn't him, it was Wamu and Kukan. The way they expressed their lives through rap was refreshing and unique. It offered a creative perspective and it was quite engaging because they told you how they felt. When Kukan expressed his feelings towards Miko through rap, it made me think how different the show would be if these guys were the main characters. But then it would be a different show altogether. It would be focused on high school teenagers struggling to find their identity, struggling to find love. It would be a minimalist drama that tackles domestic but relatable subjects, as opposed to the apocalypse, heaven against hell, destruction of mankind story. This element wasn't merging with the characters with any coherence. I felt detached towards the characters, their fate. Something was missing. It was missing that sincerity to make the scenes carry a strong weight of emotion. Akira is clearly meant to be the heart of the story. He is trying to help humans and devilmen, showing that they can all live in peace. But then I'm seeing him fight off a demon by having sex with it. I mean, is this anime really being serious? You can't possibly watch this with a straight face. These scenes are just ridiculous. The demons aren't scary, they're just sexualized to the point where the audience don't know whether to feel terrified or turned on. And then after witnessing giant demon boobs close up, you expect me to be on board with all the philosophical bullshit about evil and humanity. Every emotional death felt so staged in a way that didn't feel natural. Whenever two characters grow attached to each other, one of them is going to die. Whenever someone mentions a specific moment in the childhood, it comes back to haunt them. When Akira is forced to kill a demon which creates an illusion that his victims are alive, and one of those victims being his mother, it didn't feel tragic or heartbreaking to me. We don't know anything about Akira's parents. At this point, it just felt like Monster of the Week. Which demon are they going to face in this episode and how are they going to beat it? By what? Throwing him into the moon? This whole episode was the catalyst that started to blur the lines between humanity and demons. What makes us good? What makes us bad? Are humans just as cruel as demons? Moyuru is a devilman like Akira and is exposed by Ryo during what appears to be a national coverage for a track and field event. So this episode was showing how the media and people would react to a demon, but it would also make Akira see that Ryo is clearly bad news. I think the way everything was executed felt rushed and over the top. Moyuru is a character we only just got to know at the beginning of the episode. He is in grief and feels like no one can understand how he feels. Akira was the only one who saw the pain he feels, but this guy just starts crying in such a dumb way, you can't take this scene seriously. Everything felt exaggerated in how the media reacted to this. Moyuru accepting a drink from a stranger like Ryo was a stupid move. The anime has all these elements to make an emotional story, but the execution doesn't feel realistic. It's over the top and ridiculous. I mean, why is Trump in this? What does he have to do with the plot? You could have just had a fictional president and it wouldn't have made a difference. Miki's family all die in a tragic death that is actually quite disturbing, but again the execution of it was rushed. They were in the background for the last few episodes. There was no development except for them having a positive relationship with Miki and Akira. And what made this scene worse was how Akira once again was coincidentally too late to save them. He just about got there right after everything bad went down. You know, the 9th episode is the most emotional, most tragic, and most disturbing. I just wasn't on board with it and didn't feel distraught because of how uninvested I was in the entire story. Although that image of Miki and the others being displayed on pikes was incredibly messed up, I just don't know what tone this anime was going for. That's what really annoyed me. It was so horny half the time that the themes of humanity and how we treat people regardless of whether they are demons or humans was irrelevant. There was a great message here. It showed that evil is not just in demons, it's in humans. And they were arguably the villains of this whole story. The series features a memorable and eclectic soundtrack that enhances the mood and atmosphere of the show. The music, composed by Kensuke Usio, ranges from electronic beats to haunting melodies, adding depth and intensity to the narrative. This was one of the best aspects of the anime. It had a great emotional balance of melancholy and batshit insanity. It was just a shame that the story wasn't complementing this music. While based on Go Nagai's 1970s manga Devilman, Devilman Crybaby updates the story for a contemporary audience. It retains the core elements of the original work while introducing new perspectives and modern sensibilities, making it accessible to both fans of the original and new viewers. I personally haven't read the Devilman manga, but for me it felt like it went overboard with many scenes. Devilman Crybaby received widespread critical acclaim for its storytelling, animation, and thematic depth. Positive reviews and recommendations from critics and fans alike helped boost its popularity. It won Anime of the Year at the Crunchyroll Awards, which I didn't get at all. Was 2018 not the year Attack on Titan Season 3 was released? For me, I think this anime resonates with people because of how different it is when comparing it to other anime in the same genre. It's unfiltered, ultra-violent, and doesn't tread on many cliches. Also being available on Netflix, a global streaming platform, has allowed Devilman Crybaby to reach a wide international audience. This accessibility has played a significant role in its widespread popularity. Overall, Devilman Crybaby stands out for its artistic vision, emotional storytelling, and exploration of profound themes, making it a notable and influential work in the anime landscape, even though for me it doesn't really work. From what I've read online, the manga doesn't even contain anywhere near the level of sexuality that Crybaby indulges in. It's a loose adaptation, it's going for a different interpretation, I respect that. You're trying to show the sex in this crazy and unfiltered manner to represent the demons and devils, the primal instincts of demons that lie in all humans. It's trying to depict humans as creatures with animalistic behaviors, making a point about our deepest and darkest urges. But the way they show the sex is just so stupid to watch. It wasn't even trying to be smart with it. You're just showing us women with oversized breasts in every single frame. And it just goes on and on until it becomes overbearing. Until it comes to a point where you think, yeah, we get it. Can you move on to the story? And then you realize a large part of Crybaby is about the sex. And now I'm thinking I've made a huge mistake watching this. This isn't telling me anything I already know and what direction this is heading.